All right. Happy Sunday, everyone. I know nobody's here yet, but for anybody watching the replay, uh, make sure everything's on right. Okay. Okay. Who we got? Two people? Who's that? No freaking eating now. What's going on, bro? Good to see you. You hanging out for the politics show? Who we got? Everybody hit the like button, all four of you. Can't call it. Feel you. Feel you. All right, let's see what happens here. Hopefully, we'll get a nice size audience. I don't know, but I think we will. Just depends. Sundays usually aren't, you know, we don't get too many people. All right, that's what's up, man. I hope the 7 people here are hitting the like button. Who wants to start? Come on, somebody hop in the chat. Can you defend Trump without mentioning Biden? You want me to bring something up? Pat Travolino, football Sunday. Oh, yeah. True. Let's see. Donald Trump is hiding the Epstein files. We'll go with that one. That's an oldie but a goodie. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate you, brother. How many people are at home scrolling on their phone right now? 12 people. Everybody hit the like, please. Thank you. I've been sitting around all day, guys. I haven't done much. Carl, good afternoon. How are you? Good to see you, bro. 14 people now. Hit the like button, everybody. Yep, I'm going to keep saying it. It's very important. So YouTube will push these shows out there. Cankles. Yeah. The I've Had It podcast, I think it's called. They call him Cankles McTaco Tits. He does have some big ass cankles, and that is not a good sign. I know his supporters and stuff want to deny or be in denial about his health situation, but that's not good. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that, man. I was pissed. I wanted to hit 30K last night, and I didn't, but I can't complain. $19 people. Golden-haired jackass. That's what he is. That's what he is. I started writing a little AI song for the beginning of these shows because I have them for my regular shows. It's pretty funny so far. It's all about Trump, of course. All about Trump. I might have to do some traveling pretty soon here, so I might be doing these shows from different locations. We'll see. Won't matter, though. I'll still be doing them. 23 people hit the like button, please. Almost 30K in less than 24 hours. That's really good, no? Oh, yeah. I just meant 30K on one video. Yeah, if you looked at the things I posted last night, it's not bad. I got like 150,000 views, somewhere around there in the last 7 days, and 300 and something thousand for the month. But I haven't even been doing these shows for a whole month. A lot of that is just MobTube shows, and the views are low on them. So come on, guys, let's talk about Trump. Why would you vote for a bleach blonde, spoiled little rich kid? Well, old man now. Grew up as a spoiled little rich kid. Joe Schmo, good afternoon from the island of Puerto Rico. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well also. I'd love to be in Puerto Rico right now. How's the beaches? You're not a Trump supporter, are you? 23 people. It's going slow. Why would you vote for an orange-haired freak who's been found civilly liable for sexual assault? You know the word. He's the best president in a very long time. All right, Adam Scott, can you tell me why? What makes him a great president? Honest question, not being a smartass or anything. Curly Eastbourne, hello from Florida. Shout out to Florida. Good to see you. I would never vote for Trump. New Yorkers had enough of him. You would think, but a lot of them love him. I can walk to the nude beach. Oh, is that right, Joe Schmo? Well, you might as well go then. Why are you staying home? He did what he said he was going to do, but he didn't. He said he was going to build the wall and Mexico was going to pay for it. That was his first term, at least. This term, he said that he was going to end the Ukraine-Russia conflict on day one. He said he was going to lower grocery prices on day one. He said he was going to bring down inflation, bring down unemployment, all that stuff, and none of that has taken place. And there's much more that he said he's going to do that he hasn't done. So he hasn't really done what he said he was going to do, unless you're just talking about deporting people and giving tax cuts to billionaires. That's about it. He is. Hey, Miss Campurol. I never know if I should expect to see you on the politics shows. Believe me, you don't have to hang out for these if you don't want. I know you're not into this stuff. The double chin is crazy. Really? Is it? It's crazy? You never seen one? Nathan's outside? Okay. Yeah, sure. Oh my God, I got a double chin, guys. I better end the show and go hide in my closet and feel bad for myself and cry. Maybe try to get some plastic surgery done. Yeah. My feelings are hurt, Nathan. All right, cool. Haha, you're right here. Yeah, right. Trump is a true blowhard. He is. The prices are down on everything. They're not. Prices are up on groceries in general, especially beef, pork, veal, stuff like that. You could do some sit-ups. Nathan, should I drop the link for you? You can come on the show and we could take a look at you and I could roast you to fucking death. Should I do that? What planet does this guy come from where the prices are all going down? Is he crazy? I mean, he could look it up. Yeah, Joe Schmo. He could look it up right now and see. I mean, you could simply Google it and you'll see exactly by how much of a percentage, everything is up. And it's all up. Except for eggs. Of course I can. Ask me a question about Biden. If it's something I would defend him on, I might just agree with you. Hey, Sally, you got $1 Mimo? The consumer is paying the tariffs. That's right. Yep, absolutely right. Biden was a true politician. Biden knew what the hell he was doing. Yes, he did. Showering with his teenage daughter. The teenage part you literally just made up. Nowhere in the diary or anywhere else does it say that she was a teenager. So you just made that up. That would be insane. That would make him a pedophile, and that's not the case. So, yeah. MAGA, we voted him in. There he will stay forever. Do you want him to run for a third term, Troy? What, Ozzy Crosby? What? Wow, what? You're going to go ahead, feed me some disinformation. He's like Joe Rockhead from the Flintstones. How am I ignorant? Tell me how, Ozzy Crosby. Don't just say you're ignorant. Tell me what I'm wrong about. The Epstein Memorial Ballroom continues despite people and kids starving. Of course it does. Joe does have a nice Corvette. Y'all slumming it, still crying about Trump. Slumming it. Okay, whatever you say. You're just a guess, I assume. Ronnie D. Felice, Democrats are child groomers. Well, it's funny that Democrats are the ones trying to get the Epstein files released, and the Republicans are the ones trying to hide them. It's also funny that Donald Trump's spiritual advisor, Robert Morris, just got busted for pedophilia. It's also funny that Donald Trump was best friends with Epstein for 10 fucking years. You know, got accused of R-wording a 13-year-old girl with him. People talk like he can actually just run for a third term and get the nomination. The Constitution would have to be changed, and that's never going to happen. I know, but they want him to do it, and the point is that they don't care about the Constitution. Come on, Ozzy, let Chris drop you the link. Whatever you want. Think about what you just said. What did I say? What did I say? Why don't you, instead of telling me to think about what I just said, why don't you tell me what I just said? Holy shit. Democrats are child groomers. They mutilated kids. No, they didn't. That's complete bullshit. Rainbow flags in schools. I don't know that there are rainbow flags, whether or not there are in any schools across the country, but I know I have a 13-year-old stepson. And when I asked him that, he looked at me like I had 6 heads. So, yeah, no. This is just something you're being told. It's more fear-mongering. They want you to think the gay people are coming to take your children. They're coming to recruit them, and you guys believe it because you're the least street-smart people in the world. Crying because your Snap EBT broken. Am I, Troy? Because I've never been on Snap, fuckface. There's more of a chance that you have than that I have, Out of all the people on EBT. I saw this last night. 45% are Republican, 35% are Democrats, and the rest I don't remember. So yeah, there's more MAGA people on food stamps than there are anyone else. That's why red states get a disproportionate amount of SNAP benefits. What were we talking about yesterday? Oklahoma, I believe, 16% of their population is actually on SNAP, and that's the rural areas, not just the cities. Yeah, I know, constantly. Every Antifa member getting arrested having child abuse on their records. Really? Give me a name. Just one. Because there's no such thing as a group called Antifa. That's not a thing. It's just an ideology. It just means anti-fascist, which would make most people Antifa because most people are anti-fascist. So just give me one case, Ronnie D. Felice. I'll look it up right now. No, I'm just saying I'll bring you on here and roast the shit out of you. I don't give a fuck whether you live or die, to be honest. Nathan's outside. You just talk shit with no proof. You're just repeating slander. No, I'm not. You could bring up any point I said and I'll show you the proof for it. Stand up for you. Sorry, I got a bag of water bottles here. I drink a lot of water. Hold on. There you go, fuckface. What'd you expect to see, dickhead? That didn't work out well for you, did it? No, I know. Democrats voted in a radical Muslim that worships Muhammad who married a 9-year-old. All right, whatever you say. Adam, you idiots, inflation is up. Yes, it is. EBT back out, stupid. Yes, it is. Who are you talking to? You're not calling me stupid, goddammit. Clinton Epstein. There's as much proof of Clinton doing anything nefarious with Epstein as there is Trump. Actually, there's more evidence to believe Trump has done something, some very disgusting type of act or essay or whatever with Epstein than there is Clinton. Clinton's on his flight logs. Trump's on his flight logs. That's it. And every time Clinton was on his flight logs, it was for some humanitarian thing. And Secret Service was with Biden while he was on the plane. So, Clinton. Even if Trump knew Epstein or hung out with him, how does that make him guilty of sex crime? Well, let's see. Where there's smoke, there's fire. A guy who's been accused of sexual assault 27 times since the 1970s, long before he ran for president. A guy who's talked openly about wanting to fuck his own daughter. A guy who on Entertainment Tonight, they got a video of him, and you can look it up on YouTube, looking at a 10-year-old girl on an escalator and saying, I'll be dating her in 10 years. A guy who said Jeffrey Epstein is a great guy who even likes beautiful women as much as me, and many of them are on the younger side. A guy who was accused of wording a 13-year-old with Jeffrey Epstein. Did I mention that he's wanted to fuck his own daughter since she was a little girl? There's that too, yeah. Here, you want to see something? You're an idiot, really uneducated. Y-O-U-R? Yep, it's me that's uneducated. Stupid fuck. I love when you guys do that. You're not bright. Here, guys, I'll show you a little video.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon?
She's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this blood yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, you know, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I stand there with no sweat.
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
You are one.
All right, I was going to say that, but it's true.
So there's that. Clinton is literally pictured with one of the victims, piss-faced drunk. Really? Where is that? Tell me how to find that picture. I'll look it up right now. Yeah, sure I do, James. Sure I do. Just because I know more than you, right? Oh, yeah, I'm stuttering. Yeah, Where's your proof? Come on, show it, because I know I could find it anywhere, unlike you, who's nothing but an idiot. All right, well, tell me, what proof are you looking for? I don't understand. The other one, I think I already read some of these. Let me just see something here. This dickhead said, you think SNAP recipients are registered to a party. They have that information, fuckface. It was reported last night. You can actually go look it up. Yes. They know, it's just like me, you fucking dummy. I could look up anyone right now, and believe me, the people in blue here will tell you I've done it many times, and I can find out exactly whether you're registered to how you're registered as a voter, Democrat or Republican, Independent. I can find that out in a second. So it's not like secret information they can't get. Oh, wait a minute. What happened? More flights canceled today under Trump regime? Yep, of course. Let me get to the bottom here. Literally on Epstein's fucking plane. Okay, tell me where to find it. Where do I find it? Because that's not real. That's not true. That's just you making shit up or repeating something you saw on social media or some shit. That's AI. It's so obvious. Grower, not shower. Come on, man. Any of those clips, anything you saw in that video, just bring one of them up. Just mention one to me, and I'll go find you the full clip. It's not AI. It's not AI. The fact that you would even say that tells me how brainwashed you are. That's insane. It's AI. No, it was 100%. Which part? Which part? Tell me which part. Bet I could make a video like that with anyone, because all that was speculation, literally no proof, and half of that could have been taken out of context, you dumb fuck. Don't call names, you stupid cunt, okay? Because I will block the living shit out of you, all right? don't get pissed off because I'm exposing your orange-faced fucking cocksucking leader. Okay, that's not speculation. Nothing was taken out of context. That's why I told you, mention one of those clips. Tell me which one you want to see the full clip of, and I'll show you. It's not taken out of context. Your boy is a pig. Yeah. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Except it's not just association. Stephen Hawking is a guy who's literally incapable of doing something like that. Donald Trump is a guy who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 10 years, according to Jeffrey Epstein, was in pictures with him many, many times, videos with him many, many times, complimented him, as you just heard, wished Ghislaine Maxwell well after she was convicted of pedophilia, by the way, after. You just saw that in that video. He met Melania through Epstein. The first time he had sex with Melania was on Epstein's plane. So he's not just somebody who's associated. They were best fucking friends. I could find you 15 pictures right now of the two of them together, and none of them are fake. Why don't you just Google it and see? But I see your facts from video edits that include comedians. Who are the comedians on that video? Who are you talking about? Talking about the one guy that was a stand-up comedy guy or something? What did he say? That the guy that said that giving Trump a Miss Teen USA pageant is like giving Jeffrey Dahmer. I forget what he said. Something like that. I mean, what are you talking about? Comedians. I'm talking about the stuff you heard from Trump's own fucking voice and the facts there. Like we know that Trump was friends with Prince Andrew, yet after Prince Andrew got in trouble, he said, I don't know Prince Andrew. And there were a bunch of videos of him, videos and pictures of him with Prince Andrew. So these clips are old, and many of us remember seeing these interviews when they happened. Exactly. Doesn't matter. Plus, I'm a huge Howard Stern fan. So I heard him on Howard Stern when he did it live, talking about how voluptuous his daughter was. You could also find a clip of him, I think, like on The View or some shit like that from a long, long time ago, where he's talking about, it's him and Ivanka on the show, and they say, what's one thing you have in common with your father? And she said, golf. And then they said, Donald, what's one thing you have in common with your daughter? And he said, I was going to say sex, but I can't really say that. Why would you fucking say something like that? All right, no problem. Blocked. Look how triggered I got, you fucking idiots. Oh, are you pissed off? Oh, let's see. Bill Clinton drunk, passed out on Epstein's plane. There is no verified information or credible evidence from flight logs, court documents, or witness testimonies to support the claim that Bill Clinton was ever drunk and passed out on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. Flights taken. A spokesperson for Clinton confirmed he took 4 trips on Epstein's plane for Clinton Foundation related work in the early 2000s with his staff and Secret Service detail present on every leg of every trip. Flight logs suggest he may have taken more individual flights, up to 26, but these were part of the same trips. So there you go. And Trump is in the flight logs 8 times. 8 times. So there you go. I'm even looking through images. There's no such fucking picture. You lying fuck, Nathan. Why is it that you're always proven wrong, all you guys? Because you don't know anything. You know? Mike Ramey, what's up, bro? I just saw you somewhere. Where you at? I don't know. I'll come across you at some point. Let's see. I remember seeing Trump's interview where he said if he runs for president, it would be as a Republican because Republicans were uneducated and easy to control. Well, Drywaller 420, I have to say, just because I won't lie, even about Donald Trump, that was actually not true. Believe it or not, he actually never said that. Because it wasn't actually, you don't see him saying, and it's just somebody reporting that he said that. But it's actually not true. I looked into it thoroughly. See, guys, I don't lie about Trump. I have to defend the orange-faced cocksucker on occasion just because, there's misinformation out there about him. Just most of it is 100% true. Most of the information, not the misinformation. Oh, there you are, Mike. What's going on? 45, 47, 48 lives rent-free in this guy's head. 48. So you're predicting the future now, huh, Foxwolf? That's a good skill. You should be a zillionaire. Can you tell me the lottery numbers for tonight, fucko? Just out of curiosity. We don't just hate him. The whole system is disgusting, and he just happens to be the face at the moment. I agree with you to some extent, but nobody is as bad as him. You get all your information from the National Enquirer. No, I don't. Dahmer, a cooking show. Yeah. That's what it is. Trump is a 34-count felon and a closet gay guy. Well, he does talk about Arnold Palmer's cock, so that's pretty gay. I know it wasn't AI. Please calm down, chat. Oh, then you're just trolling me, grower, not shower? How dare you? Your fake outrage is hilarious. Oh, yeah. I'm losing my shit here. What fake outrage would that be, fuckface? Tell me anybody who you could find clips like that of. Anybody who has been accused of the things he's been accused of. Anyone. Go ahead. Tell me. When is MAGA going to get it? Trump doesn't give a shit about you. He doesn't give a shit about me. It's all about fear and control to boost up his fragile ego. That's right. I told you, none of you guys that vote for him, he would never even. Thank you, Crystal. Is that how you say that, Crystal K? Thank you. I appreciate that. He would never even shake one of your hands unless there was a camera there for a photo op or something. He would never do it. He looks down on you people. It's now called Fox, no longer Inquirer. Nice, the lucky dog. Yeah. Yes. The Lucky Dogs Band. Is that what it is? You're such a low IQ NPC. All right, tell me how, Aaron Wilson. What have I been wrong about so far? What's wrong? What's wrong, Aaron Wilson? Thank you, Hawaii 510. That means a lot to me. So, guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. Very important. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. And, of course, there's my Cash App. And my super chat button is right down there in the comments section. Feel free to hit that and send in a super chat. Because, of course, these shows are to make money. That's what YouTube's all about. Is there more than two genders? Don't call me bud. That's the gayest thing in the world. And no, of course there isn't. There's two genders, male and female. That's it. And unless you were born with a pussy, you can't be a woman. Donald Trump wants to pass a bill so we are able to own illegals to use them as a tax write-off. Yeah, I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. No, he doesn't. There's never been a story about someone claiming Trump looked down on anyone. Oh my God, Aaron Wilson. How about 1980? I'm not sure if it was then, because that seems like a long time ago to own a casino. I forget the exact date, but they would make the black employees stay in the back when he walked through the casino because he didn't want to see them. I worked for a guy named, oddly enough, Don, who was an executive chef at a restaurant I worked at. He worked in Atlantic City at one of Trump's casinos. That's where he was from. He worked in the restaurant in the Taj Mahal, and he literally said Donald Trump would not shake his employees' hands under any circumstances. Now, Trump would say that's because he's a germaphobe, but bottom line is he looks down on people. Aaron Wilson, the fact that you say that is astonishing. Astonishing. Aaron Wilson, when he stood in front of a rally of 10,000 of his supporters and said, "I love the poorly educated," what do you think that meant? He was talking about you, motherfuckers. How about this clip right here?
Smart people don't like me, and they don't like what we talk about.
He knows. He's talking about you guys. He's talking about you guys like him. Smart people don't like him. That's what he means in that clip. That Davis chick literally flew to Africa with Clinton. You can watch the documentary and see her on the plane with him. And that NBA player, he is also pictured getting a back massage from her. I have to look into that. Let me see. Okay, the only thing I see this on, because I see the picture, is Instagram, and the sources it came from are the Joe Rogan Experience, Alex Jones and Tim Dillon, and JRE Classic Highlights and some other shit. Joe Rogan again, I guess. So, yeah. Let's see. Of course, a back massage, I don't even understand what would that insinuate? That he was fucking her or something? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, stop doing this while I'm live. Things are slowing down. Hold on. Men can have babies. Yeah, no, they can't. No, they can't. Melania won't hold Donald's hand in public because she knows what it's done and where it's been with Jeffrey. Of course. Yeah. Look at this. This is funny. There are several different women who have accused former Bill Clinton of sexual misconduct, including unwanted touching and assault, though the specifics do not necessarily involve a back massage. Let's see. Real photo of... You guys are too fucking much. Real photo shows Epstein accuser Shantae Davis giving Bill Clinton a shoulder massage in 2002. Now watch. A 2002 photo accurately depicts 22-year-old Shantae Davis, an accuser of Jeffrey Epstein, giving former President Bill Clinton a shoulder massage. Now let's see what she says. Watch. Epstein definitely R-worded her. She explained the massage happened when we had a stop over for the jet to refuel, and while we were in the terminal, the ex-president was complaining of stiffness from falling asleep in his chair. Ghislaine chimed in to be funny and said that I could give him a massage. Everyone had a little chuckle, but Ghislaine, in her prim British accent, insisted and said I was good. The president then asked me, would you mind giving it a crack? Then it goes on to talk about, I went from being just the masseuse to being asked to be a personal assistant on the trip, so I was blinded by the opportunity of it. Wait a minute, she was a masseuse? She was a masseuse on the plane? Or is she just saying that because she gave him a massage? It hadn't gone anywhere really, and to go to Africa was like a dream come true. The plane was ready, blah, blah, blah. Then our guests arrived. It was Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker. I was blown away. Like, oh, my God. Anyway, this is the quote from her. I just had it. God damn it. You guys are killing my show. 258 people. Yeah, I'm going to send you money. John Barron, whoever just requested money. Yep. Anyway, President Clinton was a perfect gentleman during the trip, and I saw absolutely no foul play involving him, Davies later said. So there goes that for you. Keep defending the rich, you dumb fuck. Who's defending the rich? Me? I'm truly shocked this guy calls out two genders. I thought the entire left was programmed to believe otherwise. Grower, not shower. The key word there is programmed. You were programmed to believe that. And I'm not even being an asshole, grower, not shower. Hear me out. Because believe it or not, we can have conversations without, cursing each other out and shit. All right. What was I just saying? Fox News and the right-wing media and Alex Jones and Joe Rogan, they want to convince the right that men on the left don't even know what a woman is, that nobody on the left does. They want to convince the right that we actually think men can have babies and that there's 264 genders or whatever the fuck the ridiculous number is now. I'm telling you right now, grower, not shower, I swear to God, I am from a pretty rough area. I know nothing but Democrats, okay? And my whole family are Democrats. I do not know a single fucking individual who has said that a man can have a baby or who doesn't know, that there are only two genders and what those genders are. Never. Grower, not shower. I'm telling you, that is another fear mongering. It's just like how they have you. Donald Trump tells you that when your kids go to school, a boy, they come back a girl. Do you believe that? They tell you that to scare you into voting for Republicans. That's it. It's 100% not true. I am a guy who, first of all, I'm no liberal. I'm super pro Second Amendment. I don't. I'm not anything you'd consider me to be. But you've also been programmed to believe that if you don't like Trump, then you're a liberal. No, there's millions of independents and Republicans who hate Trump. Millions. So I'm just a guy who hates Donald Trump because Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, that's it. I'll tell you right now, there's men and women, boys and girls. That's it. And whatever you were born as, born as a child, in my opinion, in my well-informed opinion, that's what you will always be. So, anyway, you've proven yourself incapable of having any conversation with anyone on this podcast when you're not cursing them out. Well, I just did, Ben saying. Do you want to come on and debate me? Trump is a broken, pathetic man with thin skin, fragile ego, and deep insecurities. Dolce Daddy, hell yeah. I don't know. I just made that up. Isn't there supposed to be like 100 and some ridiculous genders now, they say? The pronouns and all that shit? I don't know. There's 2. What's true? Vinny, Cocoa Puff, pass it to me now. Vinny, Cocoa Puff. What is true? The accusations on the right are confession. The right are the only side that has that says having sex with a woman is gay. The right say that? Having sex with a woman is gay? What? Oh, is it 92, Cedric Hunter? It might be. Who knows? I don't know. There's way too many. There's literally only actually 2. I don't like Trump, and I know they are indoctrinating kids. But they're not, though. Vinny, Cocoa Puff, pass it to me now. Again, I have a 24-year-old daughter, okay? She's going to be 25 next month. And I have a 13-year-old stepson and a 22-year-old stepson. I have asked each of them, I've questioned them thoroughly. Is there any boys going in your fucking, I asked my daughter, any boys going in the bathroom with you? She said, no, absolutely not. In order to do that, the kid would have already had to have transitioned, and there has to be doctor's notes involved and all types of shit. They can't just do that. I asked my stepson said to me one day, do you know that there's kitty litter boxes in high schools? Now, my stepson wasn't in high school. I said, what are you talking about? He said, that's what my teacher told me. So I looked it up with my stepson over and over, a million different ways. Not a single school in America has ever had a kitty litter box in it. Okay. I asked my stepson, do they push gay stuff on you? Like gay, trans, anything? And again, he looked at me like I had 6 heads. He was like, no. I said, they don't talk to you about like gay sex or none of that weird shit. He was like, no, of course not. So this is just something you're being told, Vinny, Cocoa Puffs, pass it to me now. You don't think all the parents would be losing their shit, even on the left? You don't think so? Even on the left, believe it or not. I'm telling you, the majority of Democrats don't believe in all this shit you think they do. They don't. You hear far left Democrats and far left Democrat politicians that say this crazy shit. So you just think everybody is like that. Everybody isn't like that. You just heard it from me. I hate Donald Trump. Why is it that I could tell you what a woman is? Because the very thought of anything else is completely absurd. I'm a guy with a functioning brain. Barely, but somewhat functioning. So, everybody knows there's only 2 genders. And the people who don't, frankly, in my opinion, I'll just say they're wrong. Okay? The things that Trump done in his time, has any other president ever done anything like that? No. Let's see that Trump has done in his time. Oh yeah, you mean like you're on the right side. I forgot. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. But if you vote for people that think otherwise, no, I don't. I've never voted for somebody who thinks a man can have a baby. Never. I've never even heard myself personally heard a Democratic politician say that. Yeah, Cedric, I agree with you. I see if they're wrong, and I have barely functioning brain. What does that mean? Because I just said that? I don't know. They barely got time to teach them to read. They ain't got time for indoctrination. It's just not something that's happening. There are videos of drag queen story hour for elementary school kids, though. Flyers on the walls in schools. That's well documented. Now you're talking about something different. And that, I think, personally, is no good. And believe it or not, that's actually pretty old, because when my daughter was in, I believe it was elementary school, they had some shit like that. And I just kept her out of it. Personally, I don't think it's as big a deal as some of you guys might make it, but I don't like it. I don't understand why it's necessary. I don't get the point of it at all. But I don't think it's indoctrinating kids to become, trans or cross-dressers or anything like that. Personally, I don't know. I think it's fucking goofy. It didn't happen to me, so it never happened. No, Dinka Jester. I've never spoken to a fucking a kid who's told me that this stuff is going on in their school. So, and Dinka Jester, that is kind of, anecdotal evidence kind of works in a situation like that, because if it's not going on in my stepson's school in fucking the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania here, where the fuck is it going on at? And my daughter basically went to city schools. Wasn't happening there either. Sir, the politicians that represent Democrats fully advocate for the trans agenda. A lot of them do. Yes, a lot of them do. But that's one thing, to advocate for I don't think there's a trans agenda. I think they just stand up for trans people, just as a form of civil rights for everyone. But I've never heard a Democrat say a man can have a baby. And if you've heard it, please tell me where I can find the video so I make sure I never vote for that person. There are multiple genders. There are only two sexes. Gender is a social identity while your sex is biological. I disagree with you. 100%. Gender is a social role. Sex is biological. Transgender, not trans sex. Okay. Let me see. What did that say? Oh, shit. Hold on, guys. It won't let me move my chat for some odd reason. That was a joke when I said that, right? Fuckface, Dinka Jester. You know that, right? Like when I said barely functioning brain, it's called humor, stupid ass. I bring you on here right now and I'll eat you alive in a fucking debate. And I will. They absolutely are just not where you are. Okay, can you tell me where? I'll tell you what, that's how we'll settle this. Guys, tell me where this is happening and I'll look into it right now. Tell me where they're indoctrinating children to be gay or transgender. All I want is one school. Come on, give me one school. Oh, sure it is. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I lack total and complete confidence. But it's the textbook and dictionary definitions. Okay. Can you defend any of the Dems without mentioning Trump? Of course I can. Yeah, just mention one and tell me what I'm defending. Yeah. A lot of videos of Dems saying men can have babies. Okay, can you tell me where I could find those? Because no, there isn't humongous D, which is, I doubt it. That's insecurity. Tell me where I can find one. I'll pull it up right now and I'll say, you know what? You're fucking right. You're right. Sure I can. Only when I'm talking to civilized people, and I'm not. There's a chat full of MAGA right now. A Democrat belittling people. No. Fighting back, fuckface. See, I start these shows very nice and calm, and I talk to people like I would talk to anybody else, in my life. But then they start insulting me. So then you got to see a different side of me, because you're not going to walk all over me, I assure you. Get the fuck out of here. Any public school, LOL, it's not hard. No, but tell me which one. To just name one so I could find out, oh, it's really happening here. The reason you can't, Helix Dragon, is because it's not happening. This is shit that you hear on social media, read on social media. This is shit you hear from Republicans, Trump, Benny Johnson, Ben Shapiro, Charlie fucking Kirk, people like that. Meanwhile, you can't show me one credible case of a kid being indoctrinated to be gay, or even a school pushing the gay or trans agenda on children. Show me one fucking example. When you guys ask me to show you proof, I show you proof. Vinny Cocoa Puff, $4.99, Del Sol High School, Las Vegas. All right, what's happening at Del Sol High School in Las Vegas? You want me to look it up? What should I look for? Del Sol High School in Las Vegas. Oh, this is Academy of the Performing Arts. Okay. So what am I supposed to look up? Because I don't see anything about what words am I supposed to use here? Transgender, gay, what? Do you guys ever feel like children when you do shit like this? Mike, you all do you feel like a grown man? I mean, Jesus Christ. You guys have the mind of toddlers. You do. Nasty piglosi. You know why you don't hear me saying retardlikins and republicans? Because I'm not 7. You know what I mean? I'm actually a grown man. Now we're just moving the goalpost and talking about Pelosi. What about her hundreds of millions in stock? Do you want to talk about the fact that Donald Trump has accumulated 40% of his entire net worth since January? Just out of curiosity. Or do you want me to do it without mentioning Trump? I can't defend Pelosi on that because Pelosi was crooked. So there you go. But if you want to call out crooked people, you got to call out crooked Democrats and Republicans, not just Democrats or a specific Democrat. Obama deported more illegal immigrants than any president in history. Why didn't anyone protest back then? I don't know. Probably because he didn't have ICE raiding farms and pulling people over and throwing old women on the ground and arresting legal citizens and locking them up for hours till they finally find out they're not actually illegal, they're legal. Stuff like that. And Obama gave them due process. Trump doesn't want to give them due process. He doesn't even know what it is. Oh, is that right? Well, I guess welcome to my channel. Did you know the word girl used to mean male and female children? No, and I still don't know it. But I'll take your word for it, I guess. How could I accept them for who they are if they couldn't accept themselves for who they were? Well, how about this? And listen, guys, I'm telling you, I'm not somebody who likes to defend. I'm indifferent to trans people. Okay. In other words, they don't bother me one bit. I say, if you're not bothering me, if you're not bothering anybody else, live your life. Who cares? I have no problem with them. I also am not somebody who defends them. I just don't care. Same with gay people. I'm indifferent to gay people. If 2 people want to be gay, let them be gay. As long as you're not trying to fuck me, I really don't give a shit. Okay. But I will say this. This is the question I have for you. The person who just said that, if they can't accept themselves for who they were, why should I accept them? Whatever. Why do you care? That's what I want to know. Why do you give a shit? Yeah, no, I don't. Smell it. You got to stop listening to that horseshit media and scaring the shit out of yourself. School transitioning programs, LMAO, never happening. Yeah, that's not a thing that's ever happened. Leave kids alone. Well, again, there's no proof. And I asked, what's his face, what I'm supposed to Google for this high school, because I Googled it and I don't have any article. What am I supposed to put in? Transgender? What goes in here? And this is a school of performing arts, by the way. The policy, a draft which has not been crafted, could address the needs of transgender students, potentially providing guidance, something. So in other words, people that are already transgender, they're not turning the kids transgender. That's all. I mean, I could get deeper into the article, but that's up to you guys. I know. Because Fox News told them to care. Exactly. Yeah. There's no such thing as illegals getting free federally funded health care. It's illegal by federal law. It can't happen. 99% of trans biological males are homosexuals who couldn't handle being gay. I guarantee you that's bullshit. Let me see right now. Watch this. You guys get your fucking facts from Alex Jones. What percentage of transgender males are biological males are gay? Approximately 12 to 16% of transgender men identify as gay. So all you had to do, Antonio, is Google it. That's literally all you had to do. Because I am told I have to care. No, you don't. You don't. Listen, this is my thing, okay? Unless you're in some very delicate position as far as, I don't know, school teacher or something like that. How could they make you care? In other words, and what I mean by care is, why do you care what people do in their own personal lives. Why are you so bothered? See, the thing about conservatives, and this has always been true with conservatives, even when Democrats were the conservatives, is you're way too fucking concerned about people who have nothing to do with you. You're way too concerned about anyone who's different, anyone who's doing things you're not familiar with. That's why there's so much racism. They don't understand different cultures. Okay? There's so much racism on the right. So why do you give a shit who's transgender and who isn't? Now, if they're trying to somehow recruit your kids, sure. But that's not happening. That's in your imagination. Okay? So why do you give a shit if a guy thinks he's a girl or vice versa? Why do you even care? Why do you care? I don't understand. I couldn't give a fuck. Guys, I'm an ordinary guy. Okay? I have kids. I have a wife. I have a home. I have vehicles. I have a job. I have all that stuff. Okay? This is my job, by the way, full disclosure. I don't think for 10 seconds out of my day about transgender or gay people. They don't even cross my mind. You want to know the main reason why? Because I'm not gay or trans. Okay, that's why I think a lot of you guys who are obsessed with gay people are closeted. Because give you an example. This channel is actually about the mafia. Okay, there's a community on YouTube called MobTube, and it's all about the mob. Okay. We had a guy on here who claims to hate rats. In other words, informants of any type. Okay. This guy, all he ever did was talk about rats. I hate rats. Fuck rats. Doing videos about rats. Doing, live streams constantly. Going after anybody who ever ratted in their past. Attacking them viciously. And I said early on, we're going to find out this guy is a rat. Because I was in the streets, I did my thing. I'm a felon and all that shit. And I'm telling you right now, the guys on the streets, they don't walk around even thinking about rats. They're cautious. They make sure they don't deal with them if they hear somebody's a rat. But they don't walk around talking and thinking about rats 24 hours a day. The only person who would do that is a person who's overcompensating because they're a rat and they don't want people to realize it or figure it out. And sure enough, we got this guy's case. He had a huge gun case from years ago, and it turned out he was a rat, just like I predicted. So when you guys are constantly obsessed with gay and transgender people, it makes me think you're most likely gay or transgender, just closeted. Yeah, I know. Yup, cup. I don't get it either. I don't know. What about today's results? What about them? You're telling me the Department of Education was a bad thing. Okay. People are born gay. They're not indoctrinated. That's my belief. I can't say for sure that people can't turn. In my opinion, people are born that way. Corin versus Spreckles, Union School District, California, 2023. And what does that say? And thank you for the $9.99, Vinny Cocoa Pop. Thank you for that. Reminds me of fucking Stand By Me. What's that about, that one specifically? Because now you're talking about one school in California or a school district and in California. We cannot continue the hate. And I'll tell you right now, California has weird laws around all this trans shit and all that. We cannot continue the hate and division, but respect one another with facts and listening. That's what I'd like to do. I'll have a civil conversation with anyone. That's why I care about you F words, try to indoctrination, Mike Ewald. See, man, this is all in your head. You're just a hateful person. You're a hateful person. You hate gay people. You hate trans people. I'm sure you hate black people, Muslims, Mexicans, everything. You got to calm the fuck down, You guys, you know why a lot of conservatives are miserable, get off my lawn type of people? You know what I'm talking about. Those people that sit on their fucking porch and just yell at their kids and fucking, they're just miserable in their lives, and they go to work and they're miserable there, and they come home and they're miserable at home and all that shit. It's because they're too busy worrying about shit that doesn't affect them. Shit that doesn't affect them. That's all there is to it. Like me, personally, if you are not bothering me, I don't give a fuck what you're dressing as, what you claim to be. If I see that you are clearly a male and you try to get me to call you a female, I refuse and I move on with my day. Other than that, I just don't, you know what I mean? I don't think about any of that shit. If you try to push this shit on me, in other words, like I said, you try to change my reality and tell me what I'm seeing right in front of me isn't actually there, then I'll have some words, to say. But other than that, I don't care. If I walk past the trans person, and sometimes you could definitely tell, I just keep walking. I don't say, hey, fucking scumbag. I don't say, oh, I don't grab my stepson's hand and like yank him over to me. I'm not scared. You just got to chill. Who wants men in women's bathrooms? And who even gives a shit about that? What are you guys worried about? So you think that if a man wants to rape or sexually assault a young girl or a woman, that he needs permission to go into the restroom? Why wouldn't he just go do that anywhere? Why would he even do it in a restroom? Why wouldn't he catch somebody in the parking lot or in a dark alley or on a street? Or if he's going to do it in a bathroom, you're telling me that SA and the R word, that's not too far. But if he's not allowed in the women's room, that's one law he's not going to break. In other words, he'll R-word a woman and sexual assault her, but he ain't doing it in a women's room because that's against the law or some shit. Like, what do you mean? What do you give a fuck? What do you care? I guarantee you, I'll bet my life on it. You guys will lie now and say you've experienced it. I guarantee not one of you has had a situation where men tried to go into a women's room with your female daughter. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Well, that's the problem you must affirm. So how is it people's personal life when it is being forced on everyone else? Because it's not. Bro, how come it's not being forced on me? How come? How come it's not being forced on my wife? She's a nurse. How come it's not being forced on my daughter and my stepkids? My mother recently passed, but how come it was never forced on her? How come it's not forced on my brother, my nephew, my sister-in-law? How come nobody is concerned with this shit except for MAGA people? Why is that? You're telling me it's just pushed on you? If it's being pushed on people, it's probably being pushed on everybody, right? So where is this happening? Because I don't see it. Do you have any daughter? Yeah, I just said I do. I have a daughter that's going to be 25 next month. Yep. Yep. And when I live in Pennsylvania, and listen, she was in high school during Obama. Okay. And I remember the whole transgender women's bathrooms thing. Right. And I called her school because I didn't want no guys in the bathroom with her. Okay. Because of course, the way the media makes it sound is that they could just walk into the bathroom with your daughter. They could just any boys could just come hang out in the women's room now, the girls' room. Turns out, absolutely not. I'm not a stepdad, dickhead. My daughter is biological. My two stepsons are my stepkids. Fuckface. So, are you, Mark? What area? So I called the school, and the school was like, "No, that's not how it goes. It has to be, first of all, the kid has to, have been in therapy and gone through some sort of gender reaffirming care. In other words, they're not a boy anymore, technically. Okay. And then we have to have medical proof of that stuff. Like, in other words, just any boy cannot do it. It would be such a fucking hassle that people would just say, fuck it. Even if they are trans, they might just be like, fuck it, I'll use the boys' room. Who gives a shit? I got to go through all this. And then I was like, oh, okay. Now, since then, never once has my daughter had a man walk into a restroom with her, before her, after her, or anywhere else. Neither has my mother, neither has my sister-in-law. So it's guys, I got to tell you, and I'm talking to you, like a regular person. I'm not trying to curse you out. I'm not trying to be a dick. Nice, calm conversation. I know you guys don't believe it, but they are distracting you from the real things with this horse shit. They're just, this is all distraction. These are not real issues. I drop the same fact on every show. Do you know that there's 550,000 NCAA athletes, and between 7 and 10 of them are transgender out of 550,000. And the media has you believing that men are taking over women's sports. You've got to calm the fuck down. This shit is not happening. The boogeymen aren't all around you. They're in the White House. Okay, that's where they are. This shit is not happening to your kids. It's not happening to you. And PA people should be ashamed of Kensington Avenue. What state do you live in? I'll mention a place you should be ashamed of. You fucking jerk. You see what I mean? These people, they hear PA, they think Kensington. Kensington is an hour and a half away from me. I should be ashamed of it? Okay. What state are you from, Truth Hurts? Riley was a fake? Who's Riley? Who's that? Oh, Vinny Cocoa Puff. My bad. They are targeting autistic kids. Look up the rate of transgender kids that are autistic. $4.99. Thank you for the $4.99. Do you know that if, let's just say there is a high rate of autistic transgender kids, you know that doesn't mean they're targeting them, right? It just means that as autistic kids, whatever, they just decided they're transgender or didn't decide, however it works. What percentage of all kids with autism are transgender? Between 4 and 7.4% of autistic children may be transgender or gender diverse. Are autistic kids becoming transgender at a higher rate? I'll just leave it at that. I don't know what to say after that. Okay, yes, studies show that autistic children and individuals are more likely to be transgender or gender diverse than their non-autistic peers. This shows a higher co-occurrence of autism diagnosis among transgender and gender diverse people, with some studies finding autistic traits are more prevalent in trans individuals. Research indicates this overlap exists and suggests a need for better screening and integrated care for both autistic and transgender youth. Higher prevalence. Studies have found that the prevalence of gender dysphoria is higher among youth with autism compared to their non-autistic peers. Overlap is bidirectional. The increased rates are seen in both directions. Autistic individuals are more likely to identify as transgender or gender diverse. Okay, so autistic kids are more likely to identify as transgender or gender diverse. Now, Vinny Cocoa Puff, how are they targeting them? Like, where are they targeting them? How are they doing this? And what makes you think they're even doing it? What makes you think anything other than, for some reason, a lot of transgender people also have autism, or a lot of people with autism become transgender? I mean, what makes you think that it's being done to them? People are really concerned about certain groups of people going into the bathroom and claiming they just want to keep people safe from the predators. Well, yeah, because you know what? If I hear that a transgender person, which is whatever, let's just say a man who thinks he's a woman, wants to go in a women's room, you know what my first thought is? He probably has to piss or take a shit. Why most people go in the bathroom. SA and R word, you know, the R word, that happens everywhere. That happens in offices. It happens in factories. It happens in warehouses. It happens in hospitals. It happens on the street. It happens in dark alleys. It happens in nightclub bathrooms. It happens everywhere. What the fuck do they need to be able to go into a women's room for if that's what they want to do? Why would they? Plus, there's people in here. You saw somebody said, and they were completely wrong. 99% of trans people are gay. Complete bullshit. Somebody said that, though. So if they're gay, then what are you worried about being in the bathroom with your daughters for? They're not into women, according to you. So what do you mean? I mean, listen, personally, I'm grossed out. I'll tell you what, every now and then, there's a Walmart I go to here a lot. Every now and then, I'll go in the fucking men's room and there'll be some dickhead, some animal who has his daughter in the men's room while people are standing there taking a piss. I won't even use the fucking bathroom if the kid's in there. And I want to ask him, how is this not illegal? How can you possibly bring a little girl? This is like you're showing your little girl porn almost. How can you let them see this? Like, why? I don't care how bad the kid has to go to the bathroom. You're in a supermarket, go buy her a diaper or some shit. Personally, that stuff, I don't get it. Makes me sick. I don't know. But of course, the issue isn't girls coming into boys' rooms. It's the opposite, right? So prostrate, you mean prostate? Prostate? We both got it wrong. You people, yeah, I read that one already. Biden destroyed America. You all need to pay for it. How did he do that? Tell me how. How did he destroy America? Because Donald Trump literally destroyed America, and then Joe Biden fixed it. Donald Trump destroyed. He fucked up and grossly mishandled COVID. He didn't take it seriously. 1 million fucking people died. Okay. By the way, I hope you know too. Not only did he do Operation Warp Speed, he also just got his booster shot a few weeks ago. You could look it up. It's reported everywhere at Walter Reed. He just got his booster shot. I hope you know that. So while these Republicans are fear-mongering you about the vaccine, not only did Trump get it, but you could also look this up. Every Fox News personality got it. Every Fox News personality got the COVID shot. Okay? Just thought I'd throw that out there. But anyway, what was I talking about originally? I forget. Fuck it now. I give up. Oh, yeah, because I can't talk about something that people have been discussing in my chat for like an hour now. You're right. Fuck off. Who are you to tell me what to do, cocksucker? Vinny Cocoa Puff 199. These doctors have a lifelong subscriber. These doctors? What do you mean? I don't know. Are you my lifelong subscriber, though? That'd be nice. Thank you for the 199. Just went to the doctor yesterday on the paper, asked my pronouns. Yeah, so you ignore it. Even social media now, they ask for your pronouns. The other day, I changed the name of my YouTube channel because, you know, it was the channel about the mob, and I'm you know, excuse the word, transitioning my channel into a politics channel. Okay. So when I was changing the name, it asked for my pronouns. I just left it blank. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know about bisexual Robert Scott Williams, but you saw me look up the gay thing, and it says that the 14 to 16% of transgender men are gay. 14 to 16%. And I know of a guy who has a son who's trans, and he lives his life as a woman, and he has a girlfriend. Trans or not gay, yeah, not necessarily. I've never heard of a transgender guy going after a kid. Me neither. I remember a dude telling me that the gay and trans trend is only 5 years old when there's like hundreds of years of history when it comes to these two specific groups, and that's just in America. They've always been here. It's just a matter of how long the Republicans have been turning this into some huge issue. You know, it's they've always been here. People don't understand, man, and I wish I could convince them, but all I could do is do these shows. Everything they're telling you on a daily basis is to scare you or to just lie to you in general, you know? No, Tim, I wasn't, but yeah, you could just make stuff up about me if you want. Why not? You're probably a pedophile. How about that? How you like that? I could do it too. We could play this game. Yeah, I wore a mask while driving, and you're a pedo. Republicans ask your pronouns. Get the fuck out of here. Who said that Republicans ask your pronouns? Who said that? Well, thank you. Thank you very much. My transition to politics. So, guys, hit the like button and subscribe, please. These are all bullshit issues. Wait, I like your vague statements about Trump ruining the country. You name nothing specific, a complete vague statement. Okay, that's what I was on to. Yeah, if you didn't see fuckface, I forgot what I was saying. So Donald Trump mishandled COVID. He didn't take it seriously. He said it was like the flu. It'll just go away, blah, 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 all that horse shit now, right? Unsubscribe. I don't give a fuck. Unsubscribe and choke on a cock and die. I don't give a fuck about you. That's what he said. All right, about the pandemic. He didn't take it seriously from the beginning. He handled it worse than any world leader in the world, okay? Or any nation's leader in the world, okay? here's something specific for you. When he left office, he left with 2.5 million less jobs than he started with. The first president since only Herbert Hoover to do that. He also left with a 14% unemployment rate, which is insanity. 14% unemployment rate. Joe Biden came in and started fixing everything. He had the unemployment rate down to a record low, which I believe was 3.2%. Okay? So just like every Democrat has to do after a Republican president, they fix the economy that the Republican ruins. Now, if you don't think Donald Trump had anything to do with ruining the economy, you're not paying attention. Even gas prices, you guys don't even understand why they were high under Biden. They were high under Biden because Donald Trump, at the end of his term, because nobody was driving, made a deal with U.S. or with Russia and Saudi Arabia to stop producing oil because we had too fucking much. So now Biden takes office, people start driving, the shutdown eventually ends. There's not enough gas, not enough fuel. Okay, so too much supply, not enough demand. Simple as that. I could tell you 1,000 different ways he fucked up the country. And you could say Joe Biden didn't fix anything, but well, what do you? I'll tell you what, Lit. Can you name me one Joe Biden policy? Biden didn't do anything in office. The people around him did everything. He didn't even know he was president. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And you're that's just a guess that people ran everything for him. And I think you might want to look towards Donald Trump for that, because Donald Trump has pretty much Stephen Miller making all his decisions for him. For a while there was Elon Musk. You know, he just said the other night on 60 Minutes, he has no idea who he just pardoned. He said, I don't know the guy. I have no idea who he is. So there goes your auto pen argument. I could show you. Let me show you guys something. You want me to really fucking trigger yous? Watch. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. And donate if you'd like.
I think you should take a cognitive test like I did. I took a cognitive test and I aced it. Doc Ronnie Johnson. Does everyone know Ronnie Johnson, congressman from Texas? He was the White House doctor. How good did Elise Stepanek do? You know, we've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel, and he's doing great. Jimmy Connors is good. He's also happy.
Mike Bolton, John Bolton is here. Mike Bolton, as you know, is in Russia. And there was progress today. I look forward to solving it.
Thank you, Steve. It was Trump's fault. It's always Trump's fault. Can it ever be like Rick Gates's fault? I mean, it's always Trump's fault, Rick.
By the way, they never report the crowd on January 6th. You know, Nikki Haley, you know, did you know they destroyed all of the information, all of the evidence, everything, deleted and destroyed all of it, because of lots of things. Like Nikki Haley is in charge of security. We offered her 10,000 people. We have some of our great business leaders and leaders, period, right behind me. I may ask Marilyn Lockheed. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple. Yes, please, Mr. Kurd.
Thank you very much for your time.
You know what was interesting? Joe Biden won against Barack Hussein Obama. Has anyone ever heard of him?
Arrest their leading political opponent, they're leading by a lot, including Obama. I'll tell you what, you take a look at Obama and take a look at some of the things that he's done.
And Putin, you know, has so little respect for Obama that he's starting to throw around the nuclear word today. You heard that, nuclear.
Thanks for giving your first comments on the bill on this show. It means a lot to us. We appreciate it, sir. Thanks a lot.
You have a deal. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Joe Bright, this guy is just the worst. So will Christian ever run for president against you?
And you heard the prime minister, you heard
maybe have Matt Blum speak next, because he's been so incredible in so many ways. He fights so hard. He loves his state. He loves the people. Think of it, a new branch of the United States military, United States Armed Forces, called Air Force. I never talked about that. That's something we never talked about.
But what we just saw, we just left pleasure.
Yeah, a very big hello to a place where we've done very well, Sioux Falls. Thank you very much, Sioux Falls. Thank you.
So, Sioux City, let me ask you, and the worst president in the history of our country who is cognitively impaired, we would be in World War II very quickly. The worst president in the history of our country will be a fading nightmare. He'll be a fading, I have fading memory.
There's just some stuff. Donald Trump is demented as Joe Biden was, if not worse. I could show you a video of him getting lost. His car, the Beast, is right in front of him when he gets off Air Force One and he gets lost, and they have to turn him around and show him where his car is. The other night in Asia, the prime minister of something, I forget, Japan or some shit, had to lead Trump around like a ballroom because he kept getting lost. I could show you videos of him getting lost on stage. I could show you where he said that his Uncle John, who was a professor at MIT, taught the Unabomber, and that Trump used to have conversations with his uncle about what kind of student the Unabomber was. Except the only problem is the Unabomber never went to MIT. He went to Harvard. He never even met John Trump, the professor. And he wasn't even identified as the Unabomber until 12 years after Trump's Uncle John died. So how would Trump have had conversations with John about what kind of student he is? But this is a story Trump told. Trump also tells you he's going to reduce the price of prescription drugs by 1,500%, which would mean that the drug companies will be paying you to take your drugs. He woke up 3 a.m. if he even slept a few weeks ago, and he put on Truth Social that Joe Biden put 274 FBI agents in the crowd on January 6th, and that we need to do something about it, even though Joe Biden wasn't president on January 6th, Donald Trump was, and he forgot that he was president. So, you know, you could say whatever you want about Biden, and I can show you some shit about Trump. You never know. You'd never know if you didn't hear it from someone else, because Fox News will not feed it to you. Fox News keeps that stuff from you guys. Let me get thoughts on this. 2024 lawsuit, Escondido Elementary School sued because 2 teachers secretly socially transitioned the child without telling parents. The case was dismissed because of a student privacy policy. Okay, so a specific case where 2 teachers socially transitioned. What does that mean? That means they took a boy and they said, no, you're actually a girl. You don't mean transitioned like gender affirming care. Okay, so you're looking up anecdotal evidence. You're looking up stories where, and to me, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably take my kid out of the school. I told you how I feel about this stuff. What I'm saying to you, Mike, is that it's not a widespread issue. It's not a widespread issue. I could show you fucking cases of teachers that were Trump supporters that molested young girls in their classroom, stuff like that. It doesn't mean that it's widespread. You know what I mean? But I see what you're saying. Yeah, if something like that is happening, that's bad. But remember, first of all, socially transitioning probably just means they got the boy to think he's a girl now. There's no actual transitioning, no gender affirming care. That's illegal in all 50 states. They cannot do that without parental consent. Even then, it takes years of seeing doctors and therapists and everything before they'll even do gender affirming care on a child. And the child, of course, isn't getting it at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old either. We're talking about teenagers and stuff. So, Mike, listen. How did I mute myself? How long have I been muted? Son of a bitch. God damn it. Thank you. Anyway, what I was saying is that's why we can't just look up, tons of schools around the country doing this. It's not there. If we Googled, is it a widespread issue? It's not there. So things are going to happen in schools. Definitely. A lot of other stuff happens in schools too. You know, there's teachers that are sleeping with, 13-year-old students and shit. But, and that's, I guarantee you, more of a widespread issue than being socially transitioned, your kids or something in school. But there's only one issue that the entire right-wing media fucking machine is pushing on you guys. You know what I mean? So, Mike, I see what you're saying, and I don't agree with that, but would you admit that it isn't a widespread problem? It's not something that seems to be happening a lot? You are so lost, you don't see difference between Zombie Joe and Trump. Go back to sleep. No. First of all, they both are old. Okay, they both might have dementia, but Joe Biden is 1,000 fucking times smarter than Donald Trump could ever be if he lived to be 500 years old. I'll show you a video of Trump in the fucking Oval Office. He doesn't know what the Declaration of Independence is. He's a fucking moron. You don't hear the way he speaks and shit. And I just told you, how do you excuse the fact that this dude thought Joe Biden was the president on January 6, 2021? You're telling me he doesn't have dementia or something? You're telling me he doesn't? That's normal? That he forgot that he was president on that day? That huge day where he tried to overthrow the government and a free and fair election? You're telling me that there's nothing wrong with him? Nothing wrong with him. He just happened to think that, Joe Biden was president. And he says, do something about, do something. They put FBI agents in the crowd. Meanwhile, it was his FBI. And if you look up those articles about that story, what you're going to find out is those FBI agents showed up there after the riot broke out, just like the police would show up after something takes place. Fish swim in schools. All right. Tax write-offs, overtime, and tips. What about it? I don't know what you mean by tax write-offs, overtime, and tips. If for some reason out of nowhere you brought up the no tax and overtime and tips, yeah, I mean, that might be a good thing. I mean, not really, but it could be. I mean, it's fucked up because the tips, it only applies to like the service industry, like waiters and waitresses. There's tons of other people that live off of tips that it doesn't apply to, and it's basically just a tax deduction, just like the overtime thing. It's a tax deduction that you get at the end of the year. It's not a tax credit. So up to $20,500 for a couple, I believe it is, you can deduct overtime if you have that much. And it's just going to lower the amount of your taxable income. It's not actually a tax credit or anything. And it expires in 2028. So eavesdropping on your political opponents is treason. Stealing citizens' rights and freedoms is treason. Allowing an invasion force of 30+ million to walk in as treason. Wow, now it's 30 million. Usually you guys say 20 million. You just keep raising that bullshit number, huh? And no, treason is trying to overthrow the government, trying to overthrow a free and fair election. That's treason. Okay, that's what he did. He made up fake slates of electors. He tried to threaten his vice president into not certifying the vote. And can't think today. He caused a riot at the Capitol. I don't even think that's the other one. What is no, it probably is. Yeah. Because that was also, he called Raffensperger in Georgia and told Raffensperger, I need you to find me 12,000 votes. So he wanted Raffensperger to just create 12,000 votes for him. So he won the state of Georgia. So yeah, you'll have to ask it again, but I'll answer it. I know someone that actually transitioned girl to boy. It took 7 years and a lot of talking to shrinks to be sure that's what the person wanted. Yeah, yeah, exactly, mercenary. Yeah. It's a lot of there's a lot of requirements. A kid just can't. Trump literally stood on a stage and told you guys, I saw it with my own eyes, that your kid is going to school a boy and coming home as a girl. Now, this is the kind of exaggeration that creates this panic. Okay. And it's not. Look what Mercenary just said. I mean, it's a fucking long process, man. And there's got to be parental consent, of course, till the kid's 18. And there's got to be a lot of medical intervention and shit. Or medical involvement, I should say, as far as seeing psychologists, psychiatrists, doctors. Trump trying to end racism with end to DEI, but Democrats won't let racism go. Trump is trying to end racism with end to DEI. Just me, I gotta say, honestly, and I'm not just saying this, I've heard a lot of shit in my life. That is hands down the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard another human being say in my entire fucking life. Or read it. I read it. That is the dumb. You're telling me Trump, the documented racist going back 5 decades, is trying to end racism, and the way to do that is to end DEI. Wow. You know what's funny? Trump tells you guys a lot about DEI, you know, and one time he talked about how they have air traffic controllers who are blind and paralyzed and stuff like that. Now, obviously, you can't be a blind air traffic controller, but maybe in a wheelchair, stuff like that, disabled. I got some news for you. You might want to go check it out. I believe it was 2017 or 2019. That was a Trump policy. Yeah, the DEI, that was a Trump policy for the air traffic controllers and shit. You could look into it right now. He doesn't like to tell you that part. That's kind of like when he says Jerome Powell, who the fuck would have ever appointed Joe Powell to be the Federal Reserve chair? Meanwhile, it was him that appointed Jerome Powell. Like, what do you guys think when he lies to you like that? Do you say to yourselves, like, wow, this motherfucker literally just looked at the whole world and said, I don't know who appointed Jerome Powell? That doesn't give you pause and make you say, either this guy is the worst liar in the history of the world, or he's retarded. I don't know. He didn't forget he was president, you dumb shit. Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, you do believe whatever Fox News says. You do. How are you going to tell me he didn't? It's on his Truth Social. It's on his fucking Truth Social. Look. Trump Truth Social post about Joe Biden sending FBI agents into the crowd on January 6th. Now, this has been reported on by USA Today, People.com, Politico, Yahoo News Canada, The Daily Beast, Newsweek, Yahoo again, The Independent, AOL.com, CNN, Suggest.com, FirstPost.com, WION.com, Citizens for Responsible Ethics, and some other shit. That's a government website. PolitiFact has fact-checked it, all these things, okay? Now look at the post. This post says, and I'll show it to you, this is from his Truth Social, and it's probably still up there if they didn't take it down because it's loony. Right there. Okay? You can see the date, you can see the time. Now I'm going to read it to you, okay? The Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. If this is so, which it is, a lot of very good people will be owed big apologies. What a scam. Do something, with 3 exclamation points. President DJT, October 12th, 2025 at 12:38 a.m. or at 12:38 a.m. Okay? So tell me again how he didn't forget that he was president. Yeah, Biden was the incoming president. Don't look at the spin. Oh, you got to be dizzy from all the spinning. Look at the mental gymnastics you have to do. It was Trump's FBI. It was Trump's FBI. So go ahead. I want you guys to tell me how that's not him forgetting that he was president on January 6th. So you're comparing like one lie from Obama to the 30,000 verifiable lies Trump told in his first term. Even that debate, the very famous debate with Joe Biden. Sure, Joe Biden, his brains leaked out of his ear that night, but Trump lied 36 times in that. 36 confirmed lies in that debate. 30,000 in his first term. 30,000 lies. He lies to you every day, guys. Tell me what you think. I want your honest opinions. When he says, I'm going to lower prescription drugs beyond 100%, 500, 600, 800, 1,200, 1,500%, what goes through your head? Because you have to know that you can only decrease the price of something by 100% and then it becomes free. Anything after that, the company would be paying you. So what goes through your head when you hear that? Tell me. It's funny. You guys are all talking about other stuff now, huh? Who was president at the time of the insurrection? Donald Trump was president at the time of the insurrection, Leo Rivera. You're not serious, are you? Donald Trump was. What the fuck? He's a great deal maker. Yeah, he's doing a bang up job. The tariffs are fucking us up left and right. Fucking China started buying their soybeans from fucking Argentina. It screwed our U.S. farmers to the point where Trump said he's probably going to have to bail them out with about $15 billion. And now he made a deal with Argentina. So we're going to import more Argentinian beef rather than, U.S. beef that's right here from our own U.S. cattle ranchers. So that's good. Biden couldn't accomplish this. No, Biden would do way better. Biden accomplished, guys, do you know any Biden legislation? Do you know any? Democrats didn't release the files under Biden, and Obama was out of them, and they put Trump in them. That's just me. You have a habit of just making shit up, right? They put Trump in them. So why didn't they release them? Think about your statement. You don't think these things through. So the Democrats didn't release the files, even though they put Trump in them. So what did they put Trump in them for? I know it's super hard to believe a guy that was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 10 years, who's been photographed with him, video recorded with him, who said things like what a great guy he is and he even likes women on the younger side. A guy whose flight logs he's on 8 times. Jeffrey Epstein had Donald Trump's name in his little black book 13 times, 13 different ways to contact Donald Trump. They did business together, all types of shit. There's pictures I could show you for days of Melania, Donald, and Epstein and Ghislaine. Also, Marla Maples, Donald, Epstein, and Ghislaine. It's super hard to believe he's in the files, right? Just me. The knots you got to twist yourself into to believe this shit it's unreal. You just call me Curly, grower, not shower? That's fucked up. It's funny, but it's fucked up. Dems had Congress and made it as hard as they could on Trump. No, they didn't. Trump is a bad guy. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, when the Dems had Congress, made it as hard as they could on Trump. Let's just say they did. Isn't that the way? I mean, do you remember when Mitch McConnell said that if Obama becomes president, we will not work with him under any circumstances? And, look what the Republicans did with Biden, and that's just kind of the way it works, So Trump lied last week when he said his tariffs brought in trillions and trillions of money. That's another lie. He said dollars. I'm sorry. He said trillions, $17 trillion. Later, he said 20 trillion. Now, the entire GDP of the United States is only $28 trillion. Okay. So $20 trillion. He paid off what? About 3/4 of our debt right there. He could be able to just pay off. It's funny. Where is it though? 17 to 20 trillion bucks he brought in, but we can't find money to extend these ACA subsidies, huh? Maybe that's where the 40 billion came from that he sent to Argentina. Yeah, then he made a deal with China. They're already buying soybeans from us. I don't know that they are. They might be, but I don't know. But how long did the farmers have to starve? Go look it up. Farms already went out of business and went bankrupt because of that horse shit. Biden didn't write any legislation. Didn't write any? Well, there's no such thing as a president writing legislation. Presidents don't write legislation. If you're talking about passing legislation, he's one of the most successful presidents in American history. The American Rescue Plan, the Inflation Reduction Act, the PACT Act, the Chips and Science Act, the bipartisan infrastructure bill. You want me to go over all of them? What legislation did Joe Biden get passed during his 4 years? I'm going blind in my old age, guys. Sometimes I need my glasses, sometimes I don't. American Rescue Plan Act, Bipartisan Infrastructure Act, Inflation Reduction Act, CHIPS and Science Act, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the PACT Act for Veterans, Respect for Marriage Act. And there's other things like the Butch-Lewis Act and stuff like that are in there. Electoral Count Reform and Presidential Transition Improvement Act, Social Security Fairness Act, Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, and Pump Act. Now tell me what Trump's gotten passed. In his first 4 and in the last 10 months, please. I'll be waiting. Vinny Cocoa Puff 199. They all touch kitties, undefendable. By all, what do you mean? You're saying Democrats, or are you saying politicians, or what? Thank you for the 199. See, Vinny Cocoa Puff is a classy guy. You know what I'm noticing? And guys in here who are liberals, you should feel terrible. Feel terrible. Because you know who I've gotten donations from over the last few days? Trump supporters. Swear to God, it's not even people on my side. The people on my side don't give me shit. It's all the Trump supporters. How is that possible? You're fucking up my whole theory here about these people. So anyway, please hit the like button and subscribe. Name something Trump did right and name something Biden did wrong. Trump did Operation Warp Speed and the First Step Act. Those were good. Those were good. And he just helped free the hostages. That was good. Biden was horrible when it came to the border, although he did try to pass the bipartisan border deal, which Trump crushed because Trump didn't want to fix the border. He needed the issue to run on so he could get elected in 2024. But still, there was things Biden could have done that he didn't do. So horrible on the fucking border. Other than that, I'd have to think about it. There was one thing he did during his term that really fucking pissed me off, but I can't remember what it is now. And not only that, but the dipshit stayed in the fucking election to the damn near the very end. He gave Kamala about 3-4 months to present her case to the country. So instead of just fucking knowing that he's too old for this shit and he needs to just give it up, let somebody else run, he stayed in the race like a douchebag. So there you go. I have a question. Do you own any firearms? Well, Ghosty Dev, I am a 2-time felon. I carried guns my whole life and used guns and fired guns throughout my first 39 years of life, from about the age of 16 to about 39. Now, no, I have no guns because it's illegal. See, I was breaking the law all that time. I was a criminal. I didn't give a fuck. But now, no firearms anywhere near me because I'm a felon and that would be illegal. So 275 FBI agents in the crowd caused the insurrection. Well, Gate of Joy, if you look it up, even the article that Benny Johnson went by when he reported that, it says in the article, this number includes FBI agents who showed up after the riot began. So they didn't cause anything. How did they cause it? And it was Trump's FBI, would you think? Vinny Cocoa Puff again, $4.99, guzzling Maxwell's dad. You mean guzzling Maxwell? Ghislaine Maxwell's dad owned and published U.S. school textbooks since 1992. Is that true, bro? I didn't know that. That's kind of sickening. I didn't know that. Thank you for the $4.99, brother. All right, Jennifer, 4x4. I don't think so. Let me see. Inflation Reduction Act. Where was the reduction? Well, it didn't really reduce inflation, but it did do a lot of other things. I think it created about 700,000 manufacturing jobs. No, Antonio, I'm not, I mean, there were things in it that were good, but it didn't really lower inflation. I'll give you that. Yeah. But I mean, what about everything else? How about the PACT Act that helps our veterans? How about the CHIPS and Science Act? How about the American Rescue Plan? Remember those stimulus checks everybody loved? Yeah. How about all that stuff? How about the bipartisan infrastructure bill? All that shit. They said Trump would never get elected. Well, that's because they overestimated the intelligence of the country. You know, I was actually in jail the first time he got elected. I was listening in my little, with my earbuds on my little radio, I was in a dorm with about 275 other guys, and I heard it, and I said, "Wow, it actually happened." And then the next morning, when I walked out into the day room, a bunch of the Mexican guys walked up and said, "Well, listen, it was good knowing you. We'll be deported soon." So that's not a bullshit story. That's 100% true story. But the Puerto Ricans were doing it too, and they can't be deported, so they were just doing it as a joke. That's good. That's what you should do. Yeah, I wasn't happy about stimulus checks even before I got one, even when Trump did them. So you didn't use it then, right? You just sent it back. Our government is occupied. Most of our politicians are on the Epstein list or compromised by other means. You might be right, Gate of Joy, but we know for a fact Trump is in them. Everybody else, it's kind of speculation, 3 to 4 months. She had 4 years. 3 to 4 months. No, Bryce. No. To present her, in other words, to campaign as run. You're telling me she ran for president for 4 years? No, you know what I'm talking about. To actually run for president, it was about 3 or 4 months. Yeah. So, and the vice president, I tell you what, you guys like to act like Kamala did nothing as vice president. Meanwhile, I got news for you. Vice presidents do nothing. That's what they do. Tell me what JD Vance is doing right now. Tell me what he's done since he's been vice president. Tell me what any vice president has ever done. They don't really do anything. They're one president at a time. That's the rule. You don't outshine the master. Okay. So, but she did cast more tie-breaking votes than any vice president in history. So there's that. But yeah, no, she had a few months to run. She didn't have 4 years to run. She was the vice president. She wasn't running. I hope not, Smillen. I hope not. Don't say that, please. Isn't that bad? That's bad, isn't it? At least you have something in common with Trump. Oh, we're both convicted felons? Yeah. They weren't in the crowd. FBI was inside the building letting people in. No, they weren't. They weren't, guy. I'm telling you, mercenary, that's just something you've heard. You got to look into it. They weren't. They showed up there after it started. And again, mercenary, they were Donald Trump's FBI. So what would you even be proving even if you were right? I don't get it. Even if you were right, what would your point be? Yeah, you might be right about that. Was it? Face it, both sides are messing up. USA, America. Both sides are fucked up. I'll say that. But I have to say one side is way more fucked up than the other right now. She wouldn't have done shit different, so I don't know what the fuck you were talking about. How do you know? How do you know? She had some very good policy ideas, and she couldn't have done worse than Trump. It's impossible. Guys, do you realize that everything is higher? The prices of everything are higher. The unemployment rate is up. Do you know that Donald Trump created 500,000 jobs since he took office? Do you know that Joe Biden, even after the revisions, was creating about 180,000 jobs a month on average? We've had the worst jobs numbers for the past 4 months, the worst since I think like fucking either COVID or the 2008 thing. I forget which one it is. Horrible. Everything is going wrong. Holy shit, grower, not shower. You know what? I don't care who you support. You are a classy individual. And you and Mike Ramey and Vinny Cocoa Puff are making my day. I really do appreciate you guys donating, especially since you don't even agree with me. That is fucking, what's up with you fucking liberals and leftists? Nothing? Thank you guys very much. Thank you, grower, not shower. You are the man, bro. Do you think felons should be able to be president? No. I don't think I should be able to be president. I don't think any felon should. No. I mean, it's completely and totally like hypocritical. Just the very situation itself. Like I can't be anywhere near a gun, right? But Donald Trump could be in a house surrounded by them. I mean, it's absurd. It really is absurd. I want to see this comment. No, both sides are just as fucked as the other. You are brainwashed just as bad as Republicans. I'm not, man. I'm not. Listen, Antonio, let me tell you, okay? Listen to me closely. Do you know what Democrats want? They want everybody to have health care. Think about that. Just like every single civilized country in the world, except ours. They want to give everybody free health care. They want to forgive student loan debt, which is a great fucking thing. Great fucking thing. They want to lower the cost of prescription drugs. Kamala wanted to give people $25,000 towards a new house, $50,000 to open a small business. America first. Sounds America first as a motherfucker to me. Okay? I don't know if you're pro-life or pro-choice, but personally, since you're supposed to believe in small government, not big government, I would think you would love the idea of getting Republicans out of women's fucking bodies. So the shit that Democrats want to do, not to mention, guys, I got news for you. You want to hear some Democratic policies throughout history? The 40-hour work week, union support, okay? Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA, unemployment, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps. These are all Democrat policies. Shit that you enjoy every day, you won't even realize wouldn't even exist without Democrats. If it was up to the Republicans, and look, it's Inherited 2020, what's it called? Project 2025. Republicans, they don't want it. They don't want their rich friends to have to pay overtime after 40 hours. So believe it or not, it is on the table. It is on the table that they might very well change that so that overtime can be structured differently by federal law. Your employers would only have to pay you, say it's 80 hours every 2 weeks, anything over that. What they'll do is they could say, I need you 60 hours this week and only 20 hours next week. You get no overtime. Okay? Stuff like that. So that's some of the stuff they want to do. They're giving tax breaks to the richest people in America while lower or increasing taxes on the poorest people in America. How could you be for that? As working people, grower not shower. 10 Street Smart Politics memberships, bro. You are the fucking man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bryce, that's all. That's $50 right there, guys. Bryce Rodriguez, $20, just because you seem like you could be cool to bullshit with, but you have to stop believing these Dem politicians really give a shit about the people. I didn't say they give a shit about the people. I said one side serves the richest, the other side serves the poorest. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? That's why Democrats created things like Social Security and stuff. The Republicans, they've been trying to get rid of Social Security for decades. They don't even want you to have the shit you paid into. They don't want you to have any of it. They want cheap labor. And they want every baby to be born into the world, but then after the baby's born, they don't want to do shit. The baby's fucked. No food stamps, no WIC, no nothing. I mean, if you think about it, guys, as working people, I'm telling you, I swear to you guys, don't listen to them. They are not for working people. They're not. Democrats wanted to propose a bill to pay the military, a standalone bill just to pay the military. The Republicans said no. They're not for working people. They don't care. It's not in your best interest. Unless you're rich. If you're rich, then yeah. They do to an extent, yeah, but Antonino, you can't disagree with what I'm saying. They help the poor, Democrats. They're all going to enrich their rich friends, all of them. But Democrats do shit for poor, working class, middle class people, and Republicans do shit for the richest people that only hurts the poor, working class, middle class people. Civil Rights Republic, Democrats just voted against the civil rights, but Democrats voted against the civil rights. Well, we went over that yesterday. That's called the big switch. They switched platforms. Democrats of then are the Republicans of today. So black people being free wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't for Republicans. Talk about the president, not the past. But you just brought up the past by saying black people wouldn't be free. If black people being free wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't for Republicans. Then you told me not to talk about the past, but you just brought up slavery. Guys, I swear to you, it's called the big switch. It is literally a fact. Okay? They switched platforms. They did. The Southern strategy. After Nixon was a Republican, of course. One Democrat swept the South, Jimmy Carter. No one since. You know why? Because all the racist Southern voters started voting for Republicans. So that's a fact. That's how it works. That's why, guys, think about it. And I'm not even I'm not being insulting or calling you names. Who today supports the Confederate flag? What politicians fought to keep the Confederate flag in front of state capitol buildings? What type of people drive around with Confederate flags? Black people? Or big hillbillies in their fucking giant pickup trucks with their MAGA stickers on the back? Which party is endorsed every time by the Klan? Republicans. Which party has the endorsement of every single white supremacist group in America? The Republicans. Which party was Nick Fuentes associated with? The Republicans, not the Democrats. So, I mean, how can you deny it? No, they don't. No, they don't. The most I made in a week? What about it? What are you asking me? You asked me the most I've ever made in a week? Well, you know, for about, I don't know, 24 years, I was a cocaine dealer. So it's probably not a good question to ask me. But you are thinking that your side is for you and the other side not. Both sides. No. I swear to God, that's not what I'm saying. You're right. Both sides have fucked the country and none of them care about us. But policy-wise, Democrats get voted in to do shit for middle-class, working-class people, poor people. Okay? Republicans, they're supposed to be getting voted in for that, but that's not what they do. They get voted in, and what do? They look out for the richest people. Do you know that you pay a higher percentage in tax than Elon fucking Musk? Do you know that Elon Musk pays 0.4% taxes, but the average school teacher pays like 30 fucking percent? How does that not make you sick? Our disagreement here may show us what government can't seem to figure out on their own. We ain't enemies. It should be one team, America. I agree with you, bro. That's why I swear to God, if you guys watch when I come on here, I'd much rather have a civilized conversation than have us calling each other names. That doesn't get us anywhere. You know, I guarantee you, we all have more in common than what sets us apart. I guarantee it. They haven't done what, Bryce? I'm sorry. I might have missed. I don't remember what I said that you replied to. Steve Blair, just me again. You have no idea what you're talking about. He's made 5 times the amount, maybe 6 in a single show. So again, you're an idiot. Oh, they were asking if this is the most I made in a what, bro? Let me tell you something. On my MobTube shows a couple of weeks ago, it was a Wednesday. I woke up to $675 in donations before I even did a show. Steve Blair can tell you, and so can anyone in blue here. Miss Can't Be Wrong, Jane Creek, any of them. I've made $1,200 on a 1-hour live stream, and it's happened several times. No, I from YouTube brought in a very, very good living over the last 4.5 years, and I mean very good. And hopefully it stays that way. So I know you'd like to think that this is the most I've made in a week. I would never be. The treachery I've had to put up with, the fucking trolling, the people coming after me, my family, you wouldn't believe the shit that's gone on since I've been on YouTube. If I wasn't making a really good amount of money, I would not be on here. It's very dangerous and it's very stressful. It's not fun. Think about one of these shows. By the time the show is over, I've been called every name in the book. You're making fun of me for being fat. You're making fun of my fucking head, my forehead, I'm being bald, my glasses. It's like, fuck. By the time the show is over, I need therapy. You know what I mean? So I need money to do this shit. What's a lie, Bryce? I never had any kids and regret it every day. Adoption doesn't seem like such a bad idea to me. No, mercenary, it probably isn't. And if you are somebody who's able to adopt, it'd probably be a good idea, you know? And I hear you. I know what you mean. That you regret it. You know, sometimes I wish I would have had more kids when I was younger, at least another kid, you know? I only have a biological daughter. Of the 20 or so Democrats, senators who voted against the Civil Rights Act, only one became a Republican. Yeah, but it's not that the politicians became, it's the voters. The voters changed. So the Democrats had to change their ideologies and their platforming. Okay. In other words, like Democrats went from being the racist to now not being the racists. It's not about that they became Republicans. That's not what I mean. They didn't switch identities. They switched platforms. They switched the things they stood for and represented. Hey, idiot, look, Leonard Friensman, you want to see? There you go with the insults. Republicans moved down south because industrialism was at its peak up north and not down south. They saw an opportunity for money. Yeah, but guys, am I wrong? Are you seriously going to sit here and tell me that the Democrats now are the party of the Confederacy? Are you going to really tell me that? Elon pays zero taxes, 0.4%. That's his tax rate. This guy's idea of politics is saying the same things Democrats say. Can't think of himself. You mean for myself? Yes, I can. That's why if you can ask the people in this chat, I've defended Trump a couple of times. I've bashed Democrats a couple of times. I think for myself. You realize the difference in percentage with large number like that? What do you mean? Like, in other words, Elon pays a lot more? Of course. But it's the percentage. If a fucking school teacher has to pay 30%, why doesn't Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos? Jeff Bezos pays nothing in taxes every year. Look it up. Nothing in federal taxes, period. The guy's worth like $280 billion or something. That you guys get taxed out the ass, and you get pissed off at the poorest people for being on welfare. And your tax money paying for it, but you don't get pissed off that the richest people in this world have to pay more in taxes than you do, or at least a higher percentage. I can't believe that you guys have been tricked like that. How can you be okay with that? How could you possibly be okay with something like that happening? Like, much more of your tax money goes to corporate subsidies than it does regular welfare. It goes to corporate welfare more than it does people on food stamps and stuff. I don't know why that doesn't bother you at all. I don't know. Have you, War? That's what's up, man. Would like to see with my own eyes. They should have saved them somewhere, the statues. What are we talking about? Well, thank you, Bryce. Thank you. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm all for it. Should taxes be paid on net worth income? Or no, net worth or income. No, income. I don't think net worth. No, I wouldn't say that. I think that would be insane. You haven't taken it very well. No, I have. That's why there's nothing you guys could say that could possibly bother me. You have no idea. You have no idea. I mean, holy shit. I've been through hell and back. And listen, I'm not playing a victim. I asked for it. You know, this is how I want to make a living. You got to deal with it, you know? So you guys can insult me all day. It's not really going to bother me. I'm kind of joking when I say I need therapy at the end. Ask Miss Can't Be Wrong or any of these people that have been with me for years. I live a very, very, very good life. Very good. I have a beautiful wife. I have a beautiful daughter. I have stepkids that love and adore me. And, you know, I don't, I took care of my mother for the last like 6-7 years till she passed in June. I don't bother anybody. I don't break the law. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I'm 6.5 years clean and sober. And I've helped other people with their addictions. I'm no saint, believe me. I'm just saying I live a good life. I know you guys would like to think that I'm some fucking, you know, some guy living in his mom's basement. It couldn't be further from the truth. That's why I say most of us would probably have more in common than what sets us apart. They do. Antonio, I'll agree. They do, definitely. How did I get back up there? But I don't know what you're referring to exactly, but if the statues, that's another point. That's another point. The statues prove my point. You guys, it's the Republicans that wanted to keep statues up of Confederate soldiers and generals and stuff, Robert E. Lee. And it's Democrats that wanted to tear them down. So if Democrats are the party of slavery today, if they're the same as they were in 1865, then why is that? Why is that stuff happening? Dude, Joe Biden is one of the last Dixiecrats. Yeah, I don't know about that, but you certainly, I understand why you'd believe that. Yeah, see, that's crazy, grower, not shower. And then Elon Musk. And guys, I know people say, well, they're rich, they create jobs. But you know that Elon is slashing jobs constantly. He laid off something like, it was a ridiculous amount of money just over the past year, or amount of employees just over the past year or so, while he received even more tax cuts. He's not putting it. He's the richest man in the world. A fraction of his money goes into his businesses. The rest of it, that's his money to do whatever he wants with. You know what I mean? So if he paid an extra, say, let's just say something simple, an extra $1 million a year in taxes, it would be like me or you paying an extra nickel a year. But no, we got to raise taxes on the poor. So people like, guys, let me show you something. Now, I'm being serious. There's not many of you here, but I forgot I have this video up. Will you tell me what you think, honestly, about this? No, forget about our difference in politics. Just tell me your opinion on this.
Already tell that this narrative is about how we're all about the wealthy.
We can save health care for millions of Americans if we strip out tax giveaways for individuals making more than $10 million. Yes or no?
No. No's appear to have it. No's do have it.
We can help parents be able to take their kids to the doctor. We can keep seniors in their nursing homes if we strip out tax giveaways for individuals making more than $100 million a year.
Nay. No! No's appear to have it.
People are going to die when 17 million people lose their health care. And for what? To give an average $250,000 tax cut to the wealthiest families. This amendment would just say no tax cuts for people making over $500 million.
All opposed, no. No! The no's appear to have it.
So my amendment is really simple. People making $1 billion.
All opposed, no. No! The no's appear to have it. The no's do have it. Motion is not agreed to.
Now, guys, come on, man. I know we argue. You're Republican, I'm Democrat, I know. But think about that. That last guy said, just don't give tax cuts to people making over $1 billion a year. Republicans were like, nope, nope. Because that's who they're there to serve, the billionaires. Look at all that shit we could afford if they paid just a minuscule amount more in taxes, the richest people. I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's sickening. And guys, every time they give them a tax break, the national debt goes up. Donald Trump ran up $7.8 trillion in debt during his administration. Now, about 3 million of that was COVID related, just like Biden, or 3 trillion, I'm sorry, just like several trillion of Biden's was COVID related spending. But the 4 point whatever trillion that he ran up that was non-COVID related, the majority of that is from giving tax breaks to the richest people in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Now, the big, beautiful bill is going to raise the national debt by $3.8 trillion. And why? Because we gave more tax cuts to Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and people who wouldn't piss on us if we were on fucking fire. This channel is here to tell everyone how great the Democrats, the Democrats are, even if they voted against the Civil Rights Bill and Title IX. Oh, man. You don't get it, bro. They didn't. The Democrats of today didn't do that. The Democrats of back then, which are the Republicans of today, I can't believe you don't understand that. They're all richer than we are, plain and simple. Dems alike. Did you not just see Schumer ran out off the floor? I don't know what you're talking about exactly, no. But I'm sure I will today at some point if it just happened. I do enjoy seeing Congress in action. I never thought I'd say that. It can be long and redundant, but I need to hear it from the horse's mouth either side. Yeah. Now, guys, just for me, I'm going to play a video on the way out. I'm going to get going because we only got 30 people left. You guys are, listen, I don't see you guys as bad people. I think, like I said, I think it's possible to get along. Just me wants to continue fighting because he keeps insisting that I'm here just to defend Democrats when that is not the case. That is not the case. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys more than you know. Your class acts. I can't say you're not. The fucking donations are amazing. I mean, I can't thank you enough. Honestly, it means the world to me that you guys contribute that way. But I'm just going to play this just for just me. You guys who've been watching the show, you've seen it a bunch of times. When it's over, I'll end the show and I'll see you guys probably in a couple of hours. I'll be right back on. Have a great day, guys.
It's pretty simple to explain. Basically, when Nixon was discovered having committed Watergate, people thought the Republican Party was washed up. But a clever staffer on in Nixon's White House came up with an idea for how to get more new Republican voters to replace all the people that were turned off by the corruption that had just been exposed, and perhaps save the party. His name was Lee Atwater. And he said, I know where there's all kinds of disgruntled white people. All you got to do is appeal to them over their anger about the end of Jim Crow and about school desegregation and about the Civil Rights Act. And these are the words that you'll say to kind of trigger them. Then we call these the racist dog whistles. And you will send a message to them that they are welcome in the Republican Party. And starting in the mid-70s to the mid-80s, there was a massive change in voter registration from Democrat to Republican on the part of all these racists and lowlifes and ignorant people. At the same time, Trump started to have political ambitions. Now, it turns out Trump has an IQ of about 73. He barely functions as an adult. If it were not for the fact that his father gave him a lot of money, he wouldn't be able to function as an adult. Trump has less money now than he would have had if he'd just taken the money he got from his father and put it in an index fund in the stock market and just let it sit. But he's gradually played around with it all these years and lost it in all his lawsuits and so forth, and his 6 bankruptcies, and he has dissipated a fortune over his lifetime. Now, he's had the Russians for the last 20 years to bail him out, but ordinary people cannot be as dumb as Trump and still function. But Trump came out onto the public stage and started talking boldly like he wanted to do things politically and help the people of America. And he speaks like a third grader because that's what somebody with an IQ of 73 talks like, even if they're an adult. Linguists have analyzed his speech and they've made it plain. He speaks English at a third grade level. This energized dumb people because for the first time they could understand a presidential candidate. And they said things like, oh, he speaks his mind. He's the first guy that doesn't use a bunch of fancy words and confuse me. Now I finally understand what he's saying. And of course, what he was saying was a lot of things they wanted to hear. They were the racist dog whistles. And so you had a beautiful alliance from their perspective of racists and stupid people. The lower 12% of the IQ distribution corresponds perfectly to Trump's supporters. Now, these people are so intelligent that there's actually a federal statute that prohibits their induction into military service. They didn't want to have a repeat. Congress didn't want to have a repeat of the McNamara's Morons incident from Vietnam, which is a notorious thing you can look up on your own. McNamara's Morons, it's called. Basically, we had a Secretary of Defense who had the idea that, hey, why don't we recruit low intelligence people, send them to war and see what happens. And what happened was they died in droves, and of course, things got worse. And so they didn't want that happening again, so they actually passed a law. You're not allowed to recruit and induct into military service the lowest 12% on the IQ range. But they're still allowed to vote, and Trump energized them. He made dumb people think that they finally understood politics. He made people stood around proud of themselves thinking that they had a grasp of the issues, because they could tell on some level that Trump wasn't much smarter than they were, but there he was, a big shot. So he seemed like a champion for them. Of course, all these people forget that they aren't rich. They didn't have a dad hand them the equivalent of $412 million. And they can't do the things that Trump does, and they can't get away with the things Trump has gotten away with. And even Trump himself is not going to get away with them indefinitely. But the stage has been set, and this is where we're at. Basically, we have a fanatical core of low-intelligence voters that are solidly behind Trump. They will back him no matter what he does or says, because they don't care what he does or says. They just know he's their guy. They understand him. They like him. He talks to them in a way that they can comprehend, and they are fanatical in their support of him. He has given them what they see as dignity and strength. And then at the other end of the spectrum are smart people from all walks of life. I actually used to be a Republican myself. I'm ashamed to admit it now, but I know I'm not alone. I mean, millions of people who make sure that they turn out to vote against Trump used to be actual Republicans, because the Republican Party is now nothing but a loony den of the very low intelligent. And there's just no way that you can be associated with them at all. So now it's going to be, some range of conservative to liberal Democrats again, except that it'll mean something different than it used to mean. I mean, those Democrats won't be conservative because they're racist garbage people from the South. They'll be conservative because they have some other philosophy about the role of the market or private enterprise or something like that. in the economy. At any rate, this is the problem we have. It's basically now just the very low intelligent versus the high intelligence. And the thing is going to be decided by undecided people who don't pay any attention. People in the middle that don't pay attention to politics, no matter whether the politicians are smart or dumb. They just show up on election day and try to do their best. Those are the people you have to reach. You have to get them interested.
Facts don't care about your feelings.